Alright, hello everybody. I want to thank you for joining me today on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare reveal stuff such as today, subject, perks. Yes, that's right. Perks were revealed, or I guess you could say leaked in a way. And we're going to start this off with Tier 1 XO perks, which they like to call it. And of course, like I've stated before, we got lightweight coming back, which increases movement speed. I'm surprised they didn't add anything else like lowers falling damage, which I would have liked to see come back in lightweight, specifically only because, as if you watch one of my previous videos that I might put in the annotations or in the description below, you could see that there was an XO ability that specifically states that it increases your foot speed or movement speed. I don't remember the exact wording. If it says foot speed, I don't know what's the difference, but that could, having lightweight plus an XO ability that increases your speed overall just seems really powerful together. And I'm surprised they didn't just make lightweight as something that either doesn't increase your movement speed since you already have an XO ability that can do that, or just basically stops taking falling damage, which in the previous Call of Duties they did do that, so I'm really surprised they didn't do that in this one. But oh well, maybe it's a later perk, we'll see. Now on to the next one, low profile. As I stated in my video before, I had to guess what it was, and well, I was correct. It lets you be invisible to UAVs and something else, tracking rounds, which I don't really know much. I don't know too much into it, but honestly, when it says tracking rounds, I'm guessing it sounds more like against the new grenades explained in one of my previous videos as well, and in the stream, the tracking drone and the threat nade. Both of them is like tracking rounds where they can track people down and reveal it to the whole enemy team. So I would guess it means you're invisible to being able to get seen by threat nades and tracking drones. I don't know. If you don't know what those things are, you can go check out my previous video where I talked about it. I'll most likely have it in the description below, or if not, in the annotation right here. So anyways, next perk on Danger Close. Now we're all familiar with what Danger Close is. I mean, if you were playing Modern Warfare 2 back in those days, Danger Close was a thing with noob tubes. People used it all the time. And in this game, I don't know if it belongs in this game. I don't know if this is the right perk to bring back, because the noob tubing is ridiculous in all Call of Duties, and having Danger Close with noob tubing is just... you're just asking to get yelled at by the community about noob tubes being stupidly broken. But who knows? I don't even know if noob tubes are back in this game. Who knows if noob tubes aren't balanced in this game? We don't know too much about that yet. So I won't get too much into it, but a twist they added to it was it does extra score streak damage, which is kind of cool. It's good for stuff like the Sentry gun where you can upgrade it to rockets. So I don't know, maybe Danger Close could be used for something like that. But anyways, on to the next perk that we're all familiar with, Overcharge, which we already know it extends your XO ability battery life, but with a twist it also shocks enemies on the impact of a boost slam, which also goes back to my idea that a boost slam won't always kill somebody in a one hit. Because if you could die by a one hit in a boost slam, then what's the point of shocking enemies on the impact of a boost slam? Maybe maybe it has an area of effect where if you hit one person but there's somebody near that one person you slammed onto, that second person gets shocked. Or maybe, as I tried to say before, it won't always be a one shot depending on where you hit them, so instead you'll shock them with Overcharge. Who knows? I don't know yet. Now, when they were revealing this perks, they didn't highlight over Flat Jacket, but we already may know what it does. It decreases explosion damage. But if there was a twist to it, I would say if they had to add anything else to it that we don't know yet, I would have to say it's decreasing score streaks explosive damage as well. That's at most what else they could add to it. Not really much else. So anyways, now we're going to get into tier 2 perks. First one is Peripherals, which is one really interesting because it increases minimap coverage, so it gives a whole new style of gameplay for Call of Duty where you can have either the regular small minimap or even a bigger minimap to coverage more, see more if enemies are shooting around you and you can see them, especially with the twist that I will also add later about XO abilities. But anyway, and then also it takes out enemies without displaying death icons, which is pretty interesting to me because there's a perk that I addressed in one of my previous videos talking about a perk named Blast Suppressor that's in the 3rd tier, and I thought that, from the sound of it, Blast Suppressor, I thought that would be when you kill someone you wouldn't display death icons, but it seems like I'm not right, and we'll see what that is just a little bit. Alright, next one is Blind Eye. We all know what this does. Undetectable by tracking drones, explosion drones and all score streaks except the UAV. Hmm. So could that mean... I'm pretty much stuck here because I did say low profile tracking rounds. That could mean to tracking drones, but then Blind Eye does that. So, looks like I don't know what they mean by tracking rounds. Maybe it could just mean by the threat nade, how it tracks around, or there's just something in the game called tracking rounds that we don't know much of it yet, and we'll find out about that later. But anyways, let's not get too much into that, or let me get stuck on this. As I've said, it's undetectable by explosion drones and all score streaks except the UAV, which I understand why, because we already have low profile. This is pretty interesting to bring it back like that. Alright, anyways, next we got Cold-Blooded. Now we all know what this was. If you was a Modern Warfare 2 player, we all know what Cold-Blooded is. Immune to thermal, target enhancer, threat nade, and enemy callouts. No name displayed or erectile color change when enemies aim at you. So two things I can notice looking at this is, one, I'm wrong again about threat nades being something a part of tracking rounds. So it looks like I have no idea what tracking rounds is. There's something totally new in the game that we don't know anything about yet that I'm hoping they'll share with us later. Or if not, we'll just find out when we get the game with either the Day 0 edition or the first day it comes out. The first official day it's supposed to be coming out. So, but it's kind of interesting, something else is that no name displayed or erectile or reticle color change when enemies aim at you. So that means in Advanced Warfare now when you aim at an enemy, you have a specific... that's pretty interesting to add into this game. I like the playstyle so far of looking through the perks of what they're adding to this game. Would this change the game a lot? Maybe, maybe not. I did say this game looks pretty interesting with all the changes they're doing, and the XO abilities is honestly the heart and soul of this game, and I'm hoping it doesn't fail. Anyways, without going off topic, next perk is Fast Hands. We're all familiar with this, but there's a twist to it. So anyway, now you can reload while sprinting with Fast Hands, and then of course, just like usual, swap weapons, or now that their XO abilities are in this game, use XO abilities and use XO launcher faster. Now, something about this that I would like to touch on is the fact that I know a lot of snipers or trick shotters who, in Ghost, they like the idea of, I forgot what the perk was called, but you were able to reload while running. And in Black Ops 2, all snipers that I know of would use Fast Hands because it made trick shotting better. Now seeing Fast Hands back in this game, will it be a problem for snipers for the fact that now it makes them reload while sprinting? Maybe this could add a sort of a challenge to trick shotters. Who knows? But anyways, let's get back into topic with Gung Ho, which is actually my favorite perk in the game so far. And why? Well, in my previous video, as I stated before, there was the big disappointment I had in Ghost, and it was the fact when sliding, I couldn't shoot when sliding. In Ghost, that's exactly what I wanted to do in Ghost. I wanted to shoot while sliding, and I couldn't do that. Now, something people might not have noticed either is they changed the name of this perk as well. In my previous video, you had seen this gun symbol, and the name of the perk was Dexterity. So they don't have to confuse players because Dexterity was in a previous Call of Duty. They changed it to Gung Ho to make more sense, and so we wouldn't get confused by the previous Call of Duty, because the perks in the previous Call of Duty had Dexterity, and it was a totally different perk. I'm trying to remember, but I think it was in Black Ops 2, and it allowed you to aim in faster after sprinting. So now to see the fact that you can fire while sprinting and sliding, that is a pretty interesting twist. I can't see how does that work out. I'm guessing this is mainly because of all the mobility and movement they added to this game. They had to bring a perk like this to make it more fair and easier for a player. And honestly, for me, this is my favorite perk, hands down. Right away, just seeing this perk, this is the best perk in the game. Everybody is going to use this perk. Honestly, if I had to take a guess right away from what you've seen right now, first tier perk, lightweight and flat jacket or low profile, two main perks. Second tier, peripherals and gung ho or fast hands and gung ho. Those two best perks right there. It's pretty interesting to see so far. But anyways, let's not continue getting off topic. Now let's get into the third tier perks, where toughness. Toughness is back, yes it is, and it reduced flinch when shot, which I'm pretty happy that it's back. I like the fact that it's back, and I hope to see this, how do I say it, I hope to see this more powerful than it was in the previous Call of Duty, because in the previous Call of Duty, I believe they nerfed it to where it wasn't as powerful as it was before, and so far this game looks like it's nothing but a lot of overpowered stuff in Call of Duty, which will make it more fun in my opinion, because it's not that, oh, that's just one overpowered thing right there, let's use that. Everything seems so overpowered, so I'm hoping this is as powerful as I think it is and not a nerf version of it. Alright, next we got Scavenger. We all know what this is. You start with extra magazines, which is the idea from Call of Duty 4, where if you had Scavenger, or no, it was actually a perk. I forgot the name of the perk, but I remember you started off with extra magazines, but then anyways, now they got Scavenger doing that, and resupply bullet ammo from dead enemies. We all know what this is. We all know what it does. It's glad to see it back. I hope it's as good as before. And one thing I like that you can see right away is they specifically say resupply bullet ammo, so that means you cannot resupply stuff like C4 if it's back in the game, which I hope it's not. You can't resupply stuff like claymores just from killing someone and camping in corners, because there's a lot of people who used to do that in Modern Warfare 2 days. Anyways, next and last but not least, we have Blast Suppressor, and the reason why this is the last one is because they didn't highlight over the last two, but these were in previous Call of Duties. We all know what these two did. Hardline, it lowers the amount of score and the score streaks, which I can see that being very popular, used with toughness, or maybe even Blast Suppressor would be popular, where now don't show on minimap when using exo movements. Now what this means is the fact that now when you use exo movements in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, you are revealed on the map, and that's the reason why they added a twist that I wanted to address earlier, but not until we showed this perk, that the fact that if you want to use peripherals is not a bad idea. Why? Because you have a better mini-map coverage, and if people use exo movements around you, you'll see them. So I like the twist of gameplay they have in this game. It's pretty interesting. Now for Hardwire, I remember it. I know this is from previous Call of Duty, but I totally forgot what it does. And if they even changed it in this game, I would honestly say what Hardwired could do if they changed it in this game. Let's say if they did, it would either let you see equipment through walls, just like every other Call of Duty has that one perk that did it, or when you walk by an equipment, it delays the explosion, or even does both. It could do both. I don't really remember. I know this is in previous Call of Duties, but I don't remember what it did, so I'm sorry about that. But we all know what Hardline does. It lowers the amount of score. So anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have anything else for me, or even know what Hardwire does and I don't, please comment down below anything you know. If you made it this far, please like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video. I'll be giving more Call of Duty Advanced Warfare coverage, and then I'll also be going back into my regular schedule of doing scary and rage games. If you're new here, I do that, scary and rage games. I hope you stay to watch more, see me. You can even see me on a webcam how I really look. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.